Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited for this video because this is the video that I think you've really been waiting for. This is the video where we're going to talk about specific exercises you can do to relieve your hip and low back pain yourself from home. But the best part is these exercises, although they're pain relieving and very beneficial, they're super easy. They're very effective, and you can 100% be left to do these exercises on your own without professional supervision and without risk for hurting yourself. I'm Sarah Stockett, the founder of Custom Pilates and Yoga, and I've been helping people use simple exercises to relieve their pain since 2002. But before we hop into learning those exercises, I want to take a look at a couple of your questions that are exercise and pain relief related. Okay, the first question is, will my pain ever go away for good, or will I always need to do special exercises? Yes, you will probably always need to do special exercises. But that being said, only a handful of exercises can still make the difference. Okay, think of your body like your car. You still have to gas up your car. You still have to put oil in it to make sure it runs. We still have to do washer fluid, simple things like that. It's not a whole lot of effort to do that for the benefit of having a car that runs correctly and without issue the rest of the time. So think of these exercises like that. It's not a whole lot of work. It'll take a handful of minutes a week, and it'll make the difference to your life. All right, next question. How often should I do the exercises? Now, if you are currently in pain, doing these exercises every single day, unless they cause pain, is what I would recommend. If you are not in pain, if you're just wanting to be able to stay out in your garden longer without issues later, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do these exercises like 3 times a week, maybe. Honestly, when my body is feeling good, I can start to notice when it doesn't feel good. And that's when I start to really get into my rolling and do these exercises again, just to rebuild that strength. So once you get yourself in a good place, you don't necessarily have to do exercises every day, unless that's just something you like to do. Okay, next question. What tips do you have for day-to-day living to minimize back pain? Okay, making it through your day can be really tough. Whether you're suffering from hip pain or back pain, you definitely want to do a handful of things to make sure that you make it through the day. Number 1, when you wake up in your bed, roll onto your side, swing your legs off the side of the bed, use your hands to push you up. Okay, so many people with back pain, hip pain, wake up in the morning and for whatever reason, they try to sit straight up. Don't do that. It right out of the gate makes some very important muscles super angry and cranky, and then they're likely to do something ridiculous like seize up and pull you out of place when you're tying your shoe, or when you sneeze, or when you reach to get a can out of the cupboard. Okay, so let's start off the day by not making those muscles angry. And then also during the day, think about your posture, think about how you're moving. Try to notice when you're in pain and think of little things that you could do to help relieve that pain. And that should help you get through your day. All right, next question. Does lack of core strength affect hip and back pain? Yes, it does. If you think about it, I'll scoot back here. Okay, core is right here. This is the abdominals, the back. It also includes the inner thighs and your tush, which is called the gluteus maximus. Those are your core muscles. And if you look, where does this all tie into? All this lower back area, all this hip area. So it completely makes sense if your core muscles are weak that you're also going to end up with low back pain and possibly hip pain, or one or the other. All right, next question. Oh, this one was asked by many people. Do you have any specific exercises to do that can help relieve hip and back pain? And the people who asked were asking specifically for seniors, specifically for people who have issues with sciatica, and specifically for new moms. Now, good news, these exercises that we're about to learn are going to be perfect for all three of those groups, but these aren't just like fix-it exercises, okay? These aren't just exercises that you only use when you want to fix things. These are also maintenance exercises. These are great exercises to do just to keep your body healthy, just to check in with your muscles, just to make sure everything's working the way that it should. So go ahead, grab your mat if you have one, and meet me down on the mat. All right, so you don't have to have a mat, but definitely if you're working on hardwood floors, you're going to want to. Okay, hardwood floors are very unforgiving, so you want to have some cushion under you. And the first exercise we're going to do, we're going to come onto our back. So go ahead, make your way onto your back. And this exercise is called imprint. Now, in this position, we've already worked on finding neutral on our back, right? In our last video, we worked on doing that and talked about how, yes, this was an optimal sleeping posture, but also lots of exercises happen this way. So, heels in line with the sits bones, arms by your side, and I've got a curve to my low back. That's a normal curve, and remember, it's possible your bottom rib or two might be off the mat. Take your hands around the ribs and draw an angle. Try to find that trajectory. Mine's kind of pointed at the bottom of my thighs right now, so I'm gonna readjust here. Find these muscles right in the middle of the ribs to help angle the ribs toward the hips. Now, when these muscles work, you do not have to move your pelvis and reach your back toward the floor, but that is a really common instinct, okay? Don't do that though. Just a nice neutral position. I'm gonna put my arms up so you can see my low back here. Otherwise, your arms should be by your sides with your shoulder blades on your back. Okay, so I want you to take a moment here, inhale, and then exhale, and let yourself let go of your tension. Sometimes when we think about doing something, specifically if it might involve the abdominals, we get really tense and puffy. So just let yourself deflate, let your belly and all your internal organs settle down toward your spine without putting your low back on the floor, okay? Still keeping that neutral position. And when you feel like everything is as deflated as it can get, I want you to try to find the very deepest abdominal muscle and just lightly turn it on. Now it'll feel sort of like, and this is creepy, but it'll feel like a muscle sort of hugging your organs, because that's what this muscle does. It kind of hugs and keeps your internal organs inside your body cavity. Okay, so here we go. We've got that hug going on. Inhale into the sides of your ribs. And now I want you to use your abdominals. Exhale, try to shorten that distance between the hips and the ribs. And as you do, your low back is going to reach toward the mat. Now inhale, your low back muscles are going to work to bring that pelvis back up to neutral. Okay, so exhale, abs work. Inhale, low back muscles work. Exhale, abs. Inhale, low back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more time. Exhale. Inhale, back to neutral. Okay, so we've got this good solid connection. Ribs to hips. We're going to do an exercise called leg slides. Now I'm going to keep my arms up here so you can see how my low back does not move. We're going to go right leg first. Flex the foot so the toes are lifted up off the mat. Inhale, slide the leg out straight. And now you notice in this position, my low back hasn't gone down, my hip hasn't tilted, like nothing has happened. I've got my good neutral position set up here. I'm just sliding that leg straight out and exhale to bring it up. Now you use your inhale, slide on out, exhale, come on up. And you only want to go inhaling for as long as it takes to slide your leg out, exhale for as long as it takes to bring it up. I also like to imagine there's a rubber band between my heel and my sits bone, because I think that idea of that stretching helps keep me in place. Okay, switch sides. Left foot, toes lift. Here we go. Inhale, sliding. Exhale up. And you'll notice not all sides are created equal. You might feel like you lilt to one side, like maybe your low back collapses, or like your leg slides out and goes funk. Yep. You just have to work on it. Find those muscles. Find that stretch as we go out, and then that contraction to bring it up. One more time. Stretch to come on out and bring it on up. Very good. Lower the toes and the arms come down. Now, for my hip people in particular, folks who are struggling with sciatica, we're going to do a figure 4 stretch. So bring your right leg up and the ankle crosses the knee. Now, what many people don't realize, the position of your knee, that comes from your hip. Okay, I see lots of people who try to push their knee open with their hand. Now, you want to just think of rotating your thigh open from your hip, and that's right here. Okay, so if those muscles are tight, and people who would have that muscle be tight could have hip pain, but that would be a lot of low back pain, folks. Okay, take your thumb, dig on into that hip, find that muscle that's all hopped out against you, and then just push into it and push it away. And like right now when I do that, I feel this big stretch up the side of my body just from taking my thumb and pushing into this muscle. And as I do that, you might notice my knee really opens a whole lot better. So it's, thumbs are really great tools. Okay, so go ahead, relax. Now, if in this position you feel a good deal of stretch, this is going to be where you go. My preference is always for people to try to hold this relationship between the ribs and hips. Keep this back support as opposed to letting that back crumple down toward the mat as we lift the legs. Okay, so take a moment, find that muscular hug, that muscle hugging in toward the organs, and then lift that left leg up. Now you can take your hands and grab behind the left leg. You can have one hand behind the left leg, one hand helping press away. I don't like that one as much. You just want to make sure shoulders are relaxed. Do your very best to keep your spine in neutral. And then you're going to hold here and breathe. Now, if you can't quite get up into this position, there are a couple good modifications too. You could take a book and have that book be under your foot. So this foot down here can have something to rest on. You can also use the wall and put your foot up against the wall. Okay? Those are a couple other options. Let's do the other side. So uncross the legs. Other leg comes up, and always before you lift, take your time. How are you doing in the hip? Take your thumb, get in there, do a little bit of digging. See if there's any other thing that you can do to help ease any sort of tension or make these muscles happy before you ask them to go into a big stretch or a big effort. Okay? So now, when you feel like you're ready to go, you're going to take a moment, Find that muscular hug in toward the organs, and then lift your leg to whatever level works best for you. Also, if, okay, for example, this is where I want to go. My hands don't really clasp behind my leg. This would be a good opportunity if you had a hand towel, just grab that hand towel, whip it up behind your leg, and then you could hold on to the sides of the towel as you do this stretch. So that's another way you can modify this. And go ahead, release, and release that top leg. Okay, this is very important. We're gonna make our way up. You are not gonna sit straight up. You're going to roll onto your side and use your hands to help you come up. Lots of times people with hip pain, low back pain, one thing they all have in common is when they go to sit up from the floor, from bed, they try to fling themselves straight up, and guess what, guys? It ends up that triggers the exact same muscles that get mad at you and get cranky and pull your low back and your tailbone and all of that out of place. So instead of doing that Highland fling to get yourself up in the morning, you're gonna roll onto your side and use your arms to press you up, let your legs go over the side of the bed, and that's how you start getting out of your bed in the morning. Okay, but for us, we're gonna make our way onto our hands and knees. We're gonna do an exercise called cat stretch, okay? So hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. And in this position, you wanna feel like your arms are pushing the ground away from you, like you're, sort of a little bit repulsed by the ground. Strong arms pressing the floor away. And when you look, you should see the eyes of your elbows rotated forward. If they're turned toward each other, you are closed off at the shoulders, okay? So open the collarbones, press down through the hands, belly button to the spine, tops of the feet press down into the mat. Now, pull your belly button up toward your spine, but without moving your pelvis, okay? So it's a nice long line here from your tailbone through the top of your head. Inhale, exhale, tilt the pelvis, roll on up. So we get this big arch, and that feels nice. Inhale here, and exhale, lengthen back to a long line. Now we're gonna move into a version of cow pose. I want you to keep your abdominals active here, and you're just gonna let your upper back open. So inhale, let your heart rotate forward just with the upper back, and it looks super tiny. Exhale, back to a long line. Inhale here. Exhale, roll on up. Inhale. And exhale, back to a long line. Inhale, rotate the heart forward, and exhale, back to a long line. One more time for each. Inhale, exhale, roll up. Inhale, and exhale, back to a long line. Inhale, the heart rotates forward, and exhale, back to a long line. All right, very good. Now, I like to close things off with a spinal rotation exercise. Spinal rotation helps reset your spine and your nervous system. And to do that and not bonk the wall, I'm gonna slide my mat a little bit away. Now, when you come down onto your side, we wanna get ourselves set up just like that side lying position in bed. Okay, so you want to come right down on the shoulder socket. You've got your arms straight in front. We've got the head lifted, so the spine is in a great neutral position. You've got your waist lifted up off the mat, and then the top hand comes out. If your top hand reaches out and your fingertips don't match up, you need to realign your shoulders. It means your bottom shoulder is too far forward. All right, knees are in line with the hips, ankles in line with the knees. Take a moment here. Find that hug, that muscle hugging toward your internal organs. Inhale, lift your top arm toward the ceiling. Turn your head to look at the hand. Try to keep your knees together here. Exhale, rotate open. Oh, and make sure you have enough space to not bunk your wall. Hold here and breathe. Okay, belly button to the spine. Inhale, rotate back to center. Exhale, top arm closes. I'll scoot up a little bit and we'll do it again. Inhale, top arm lifts. Exhale, rotate open. And you're still looking at your back hands, still reaching out through the fingertips. Hold and breathe. Inhale, rotate up to center. Come all the way up onto that shoulder capsule. Exhale, the top arm closes. All right, let's switch sides. Get yourself lined up right on the shoulder capsule. Arm goes out in front. Top arm matches up nicely. Knees in line with the hips, ankles in line with the knees. Now take a moment. Hug the organs toward the spine. Feel your waist lifted away from the mat. Inhale, the top arm lifts. Exhale, rotate open. Inhale, rotate up to center. Exhale, top arm closes. Inhale, top arm lifts. And exhale, rotate. Hold and breathe. Inhale, rotate up. And exhale, top arm closes. Very good. Once again, use your hands to bring you on up. So here's the plan. I want you to take those 5 exercises you just learned and start incorporating them into your day. So that means if you're in pain right now, I want you to try to do those exercises every day. But if you're not in pain, I want you to try to sneak them in during your week 3 or 4 times. Now, you'll notice as you do these exercises in conjunction with breathing, rolling, and finding neutral position, you'll notice you start to feel better, you start to move better. And that's because you are specifically working to fix the issues deep inside of you that are causing your pain, your stiffness, your tightness. So whether you're wanting to be able to work in the garden for longer, or you're wanting to stay limber until the golf courses open up, or you're wanting to relieve hip and back pain, or you're wanting to recover from a pregnancy, this is going to be perfect for you. You're going to start to feel those changes inside your body. And what's best is you're going to start to feel like your old self again. And if you're ready to take your transformation to the next level, you are not going to want to miss the email that I send on Monday. I am teaching spinal rejuvenation specifically for hip and back pain to a small group of students, and I know you're going to want to sign up. So look to that email for more details. But right now, I need you to do me a favor. I want you to leave me a comment and let me know which exercise on the 5 exercises you learned today was your favorite.